Friends in Recovery, the Addiction Recovery Podcast, is brought to you by the Friends in Recovery community, a thriving network of individuals who are fighting back against the stigma of addiction. Join our hosts as they speak up about the real issues of addiction, treatment, and recovery. Friends in Recovery, the Addiction Recovery Podcast, is available on Facebook, Podbean, iTunes, and YouTube 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, here are your friends in recovery.
Good morning, everybody. Did you know if you replace your morning cup of coffee with a nice hot cup of green tea, that you can lose up to 87% of the fucking little joy you have left in this life?
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Friends in Recovery podcast with Jersey Ed. I'm your host, Jersey Ed, along by two lovely co-hosts, Buckeye Bambi and Beth B. BBB, it looks like there. Yep. The three Bs. Ladies, welcome to the show. And what a great way to start off our morning with that little bit of humor that I have there, huh?
It's the truth. Except it's not morning now.
It is not. Well, it depends when you're listening to this, but I sent that little tidbit out this morning to all of our friends in recovery on our, what app is it? It's the Telegram app, right? The Telegram app got it. Yeah. Got that out to everybody this morning. And not one person reacted to it. Not one. Zero people said anything about it. That's okay. I'm not hurt. My ego is not bruised. I'm not, it only took me like all this planning and a whole bunch of time and figuring out the camera angle and stirring the coffee cup, because that coffee cup stirring wasn't me, right? It was in the whatchamacallit. I had to get that all perfect. And I wanted the coffee pot shot in there. And I kind of wanted my watch in there to show everybody what time. But zero people said anything. So let's hope
it's the algorithm. It's not the people. It's the algorithm.
Is that what it is? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, plus it was what time? It was it was 5:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock, 5:30, whatever. Yeah.
I got it at 5 something.
All right. So then it was 5 o'clock in the morning. So, well, 5 o'clock your time must've been 6 o'clock my time. So,
oh, that's true.
Yeah. So anyways, but guys, welcome to the show. Welcome back, Beth. We missed you last week. We're happy to have you. That's okay.
Thank you.
You want to let everybody know why you were not here last week, or do you want to just gloss over that like a ton of bricks?
Oh, I'll be happy to share. I was at work on Friday and I was walking across the street and I got hit by a truck.
Oh, good Lord. Well, you were walking across the street.
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't even in your car.
No, I got hit by a truck.
Oh my God.
So funny. I don't know why. It's so funny.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh. I thought your car got hit.
No, that was me in the crosswalk got hit by an F-350 that was turning left into the crosswalk. Unfortunately, I was already there, but I think I must be made of titanium because I had my last doctor's appointment today and I am good to go back to work tomorrow.
Oh my God. Wow. Good for you.
Thanks.
You should have limped in. You could have got a few more days off, maybe.
I know, right? This whole have to be honest thing is really not working in my favor.
I know. Damn, that's our old thinking.
Honest is bullshit. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. So, well, we're glad you're healthy and things are going, because we loved the first podcast that you were on and you added a lot to it. So thank you for coming back. We appreciate it. So,
thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Bambi, what's going on with you before we start into all the stuff that we have to talk about here? You doing all right?
I'm doing good. Buckeyes have won 3 games. Got to keep you updated on that every week. And we're doing great.
Good. Well,
life is good.
And I watched the scores. Didn't they win like 54 to something or 72 to something last week?
Yeah, it's been really. Sorry, Felicia. She's a Wisconsin, but she was like texted me and she's like, we're gonna win, and I'm like, no, that's not happening. And we were like, we won by like 30 some points or something.
Yeah, exactly. So, but anyway, so today's show, guys, is step 10. So hang on for some great recovery. We have a lot of good wisdom to share with you guys. our kind of look at step 10, not anybody else's. This is our opinion. This is how we did it, or we do it. And that's what this show is about. Real quick, I want to thank all the donors who made this show possible. Without you guys making donations, we wouldn't be on here today. So thank you guys so much for all those donations. If you do want to make a donation, please Venmo us at Friends in Recovery Enterprises under business, or Cash App is $ Friends in Recovery. And you can do it the old fashioned way. You can send a check to Friends in Recovery Enterprises, P.O. Box 1551, Johns Island, South Carolina, 29457. And the podcast hotline. Yes, we do get phone calls from here. If you guys are struggling, if you want to talk to somebody, if you're looking for some help, if you're looking for some meetings, give us a call at 800-989-6504. That's 800-989-6504. And I just might answer the phone. So give it a shot. See what happens. Pick the phone up and call and see if I'm telling the truth. So anyways, or if you want to send us an email, your clean time, a sober shout out, a letter we can read on the air, that whatever you want, send us a email at help@friendsinrecoverypodcast.com. And also we are looking for an intern. Still. So you're still vetting those applications, aren't you, Bambi? Going
everyone that comes in.
Every single one of them.
I spend a lot of time doing it, but I'll sacrifice.
I know. Slow down those emails, guys. We need to catch up, okay? But if you're looking for an internship, and again, what does it pay, Bambi?
Nothing, but it's good service work.
It's good service work. So send us your resume to help at Friends in Recovery podcast. Friends in Recovery is now part of the F.I.R.E network.
What is the F.I.R.E network, Ed?
I thought Beth would get that one.
Sorry.
Next time.
Next time. Guys, funny you should ask. The F.I.R.E network is a network of podcasters in recovery, anybody who is a creative person in recovery, that is interested in getting their podcast or their creativity in recovery out there, can send us an email at help@friendsinrecoverypodcast.com or info@soberpod.com, and we will get your information onto our website. And your information will be shared amongst everybody who comes to our website. If somebody's looking for a new podcast that they want to kind of look for, you can come on to our Friends in Recovery. What is our website? friendsinrecoverycommunity.org, and that'll be living there. You can click right on the website on their page and just go right to their right to all of their podcasts. Or apps or links or whatever, as long as it has anything to do with recovery. That's what we're looking to do on this. And it's free, guys. All you got to do is just fill out a little application that Carl will send you. Thank you, Carl, for coming up with all this. And it's all free. So look into that and send give us go on. Oh, it's on Carl's website right now. Our website isn't done yet, but if you go to Carl's website, soberpod.com, you can fill out the application there and see exactly what it's about. So, and again, like I said, today's topic of the week is step 10. We're going to talk about that in a minute. So why we are still rambling on about all the senseless stuff that we do every week, go grab your books, because today Bambi will be reading out of the big book. Beth, of course, our resident big book person today also. And I'm going to read something interesting out of Life Recovery Workbook that is right up my alley. So stay tuned for that. Sober shout outs, ladies. Anything going on with sober shout outs?
I got nothing.
I have nothing this week either, because we did the podcast just not long ago. So
that's true. I
don't have anything in the last few days.
Well, I do have one sober shout out. I am reading on the screen that Corey C., this is his 30th meeting, guys. Congratulations. Wow. So his 30th podcast that he came on. So I think we should get Corey a Zooming Through Recovery coin, right?
Yeah, Corey, IM me your address and we'll take care of that on Facebook. Send me your address.
Yeah. Just make sure you don't put it in the in the whatchamacallit, direct message her. So, and Roxanne is here. 31 days. Roxanne.
Yeah.
Roxanne.
Epic.
You don't have to drink anymore over anything. Roxanne. No. Cut that out, Carl. Cut that out. Beth, I think you're
going to leave that in.
Yeah, exactly. So congratulations, Roxanne, and keep up the amazing work. So a quick meeting and social media update. Don't forget twice daily Zoom meetings. You can find them on our website at friendsinrecoverycommunity.org, or you can also go to aa-intergroup.org, and we're on there, guys. We're on there noon and 7 p.m. Eastern every single day. And Saturdays, you get a bonus meeting with Bambi. Bambi's bonus beginners meeting. So check that out, 8 a.m. Eastern time. So I go to most of them. And my meeting is, I have to say, is almost as good as yours. I am doing Living Sober. Almost. I could tell you we had a hell of a meeting last night, man. There was a lot of powerful shares in that meeting last night. I went away feeling like I'm just like Superman in recovery after that meeting. So, but that's Monday night.
That's awesome.
It is. It was a really good meeting, Beth. It was really cool. So Super Beth, I like that. That's her name. That's her nickname. You get hit by a truck, you become Super Beth.
I love it.
All right. You got a new nickname. Oh my God. So anyways, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this show. Give us a 5-star review, because it'll get it all out there, and it'll get out to more and more people. So share it and do all that. So here it is, guys. The time we've all been waiting for. It is
question of the week.
Question of the week.
Question of the day.
The day, the week, the year. That's okay.
Oh yeah.
Question of the week, guys. So this one is very simple. I added a little bit to it, but this is up my alley again. I was thinking about this morning when I was running, because I always think of food when I run because I'm starving. And and I was thinking of this one: cake or pie? Cake or pie? Why and which one? Right? Like which if it's cake or pie, what cake or pie? So let's hear some answers on Facebook Live, and we're gonna go to the studio with Beth first. Cake or pie, Beth?
So I love pie. I love my pie. I make my own pie.
Okay.
Make apple pie, fresh crust, the whole bit, and my pie. Yeah, absolutely my pie. Can you hear the leaf blowers outside?
No, we cannot.
Oh,
no.
That's what's amazing about these microphones. That it only picks up your voice. I know.
I love it.
I know.
So yeah, my pie, my apple pie.
You're okay. Apple pie. My apple pie.
It's got to be her homemade kind.
Yeah, I'll eat your apple pie, but I like my apple pie.
Yes. So I get it. Bambi, what about you? Cake or pie?
Well, growing up, it had to be a yellow cake with chocolate frosting. That was my favorite cake growing up, that my mother used to make for me every birthday, all her life. And but I'm not really into cake, and I'm not really that into pie. Give me just the plain chocolate. I'm into good chocolate, but I love a good peanut butter pie. And it can't be filled with chocolate. It's got to be filled with peanut butter. I don't want the chocolate to take over it. I don't want like a Reese cup kind of pie. I want a peanut butter pie.
Yes. Yes, I agree with you. Yeah, absolutely. Peanut butter pie. So here I'm going to be the asshole in a group, of course. I don't have one answer. I don't have two answers. I have like an in-between answer. I like mousse, right? Mousse sometimes it has a graham cracker crust. It could be in a pie shell. It couldn't be in a pie shell. I think mousse is kind of in between both of them, right? I don't know.
I don't think it's cakey.
It's not cakey, but it's not pie.
I think it's
really?
pie.
Yeah, but pie to me is in that tin pan thing with crust at the bottom, and sometimes the mousse is just on top. There's nothing around it. There's nothing holding it up. You put it in that mold. I don't know. I'm going with my vote. It's in between. See, I'm so fucking indecisive. Why can't I just choose one thing, right? Why can't I just choose one thing and go with it? Why do I have to be the fucking jerk off standing in the middle of everything, like people pleasing everybody, right?
There you go. There you go. I thought you were going to say flan. I really thought when you're like, oh, I don't know what to do. I'm going to go with flan.
No,
which I don't know why anyone would like that. So, hey, we've got a lot of Facebook Live chime-ins here, though.
Go ahead, read them.
What do we got?
Got some good ones.
John L is key lime, and Tony also voted for key lime. Corey is going to go on the outward. Now, this is an unusual one. He said shepherd's pie.
Yes, that is.
So, yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah,
shepherd's pie. That's not even that one. That's not even in the dessert world. That's a meal, right? Shepherd's pie, but that's okay. It's still a pie. Yeah. Roxanne said
and
pumpkin
Roxanne
to her
is
pie,
pumpkin.
right? Yep, exactly. Yeah. And Tony is on here. All right, key lime. But that's some good answers, guys. So let us know, comment below. Let us know what your favorite is. Is it cake or pie, and which one? And we'll go from there. So, guys, here it is. What you've all been waiting for. Step 10, right? We're gonna read step 10. So step 10. We continue to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, we promptly admitted it. Whew, that sucks, right? But it makes us feel better. Hey, it's an honest program, right? I'm never wrong in my mind.
No extension on best doctors.
Exactly. So continue to take personal inventory. Now, this step is the beginning of our maintenance steps, right? This is where we continue the maintenance. This is where we change the oil. This is where we change the tires, all that stuff. We always don't have to buy a new car every year, right? If we do the maintenance and if we do everything we need to do, we can keep us in a new body, right? And moving forward. And this is also steps of the growth steps. This is where we're going to learn and grow. We're not going to stay stagnant here if we keep doing this on a daily basis, right? If we keep taking, if we keep taking our personal inventory, and when we're wrong, promptly admitted it. Sometimes I don't do that. And I'll be honest with you guys, my day goes by like shit. I feel bad. Like, where was I today? I was in a store earlier before the podcast. And not that I did anything wrong, but I was in self-centered, was another selfish, there's the four, I'll go over that in a minute, but the four kind of things we have to look for when we're taking our daily inventory or when we're trying to figure out our daily inventory. It wasn't, I was mad at anybody, but there was this older couple, they were staring at a top shelf, and I heard the guy say, I have to go find somebody to get those two bins down. And I'm like, shit, I don't have enough time to go get it. Should I go help them? Shouldn't I go help them? I'm like, all right, just ignore it. Make believe you never heard it. And kind of selfishness set in, and I had to kind of say, God, listen, I was in a hurry. I actually had food out in the car, and it's really hot down here in South Carolina right now. And I was like, I have to get going. But I meandered around the fucking camping gear at the store, and then I ended up doing this and that. I'm like, I could have took 5 minutes for those people and got their bins down. I was like, then I just asked God, forgive me. Now that's not awful, but it weighed heavy on my heart. I didn't do something for another human being. And that's what this program teaches me, ladies. And to do other things, get out of self, do things for other human beings. Don't be fucking selfish, right? Even if it is pulling something down off a bin, saying hi to somebody, right? The other thing too, I teach my wife and my daughter that when we go to a store and you have a shopping cart, you push. I don't care if you're the last spot in the parking lot or the first spot in the parking lot. After you put your groceries in, you take your cart and you push it back right to the door. Because It's just being a good human being. You're helping other people out. Yeah, but everybody else puts it in the car, in the crowd. You're not everybody else. You're not everybody else. If you want to be an outstanding human being, if you can't push a goddamn shopping cart to a fucking door, come on. Let's be serious. And I don't mean that in a bad way. If you don't push a shopping cart to the door, it's okay. But that's my principle. That's what I stand on. So that's a little bit about me in step 10. I know it's not exactly step 10, but it all works into it because it makes us a good human being. It makes me a good human being. And that's what I strive for on a daily basis. And I can't apologize the minute I do something wrong, because I'm going to do shit wrong. I'm going to do a lot of shit wrong, right? And if I don't apologize either immediately or talk with my sponsor, how should I have handled it? Talk to another addict, alcoholic, then I'm not being a good human being. And also, guys, Bambi, you always say this program should be taught in schools. This step should be taught in school. Seriously, step 10 should be taught in school to apologize, because this world would be a nicer place. It would be an easier place to live in if we all practice step 10.
Yes.
That is all I have on step 10 for my personal stuff. I'm going to have to go catch a breath. Ladies, what's your thoughts on step 10?
Well, I just want to quick kind of tell you about the comments if I can get them back. There's some actually really cool comments.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody agreed with you with the shopping cart thing.
Oh, okay. I didn't even see the comments. So where are we?
Yeah, that is the key. Roxanne says the world would be a much better place. Roxanne also says, and it feels good.
Yeah.
Corey says that he agrees with the shopping cart thing. And Roxanne says ditto.
Wow.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Thank you.
It seems
as though
the audience is on board with step 10.
I think they are. Beth, you sound very professional today.
Do I?
Yes.
It's because my very good friend Ed sent me a very fancy microphone. I don't know if you can see. There we go. I have a very fancy microphone. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, she is now officially part of the podcast. She has a microphone.
A microphone. That's it. Once you get the microphone, you're in.
That's it.
Again.
I'm in.
That's it. Exactly.
Super excited.
Good. So, Beth, what's your thoughts on step 10? Tell me I'm right.
I'm going to be
wrong. I don't care.
Yeah, no, I think you're actually 100% right. And I'm really glad to hear it. One thing that frustrates me more than anything else in 12 step, just straight across the board, is people confusing step 10 and step 11. Yeah. So a lot of people are under the misunderstanding of that step 10 is supposed to be done at nightly inventory.
Yes.
And it is not. That is not step 10. That is going to be next month in step 11. And not only would there be a nightly inventory, there's also a morning routine, right? So there's that whole thing. So in step 10, I love, there's the 10 step promises. I love, my favorite line in the entire book comes from step 10. And it says, our next function is to grow in understanding and effectiveness. Like, I can't even tell you, like, that is definitely 100% like what I'm going for here. I want to say less and be heard more. I want to be effective in all of my words and actions, right? And I screw up probably more than anybody I know. So without step 10, I would just have no friends left. Like 100%. And yeah, dude, it's it tells us exactly how to do a 10 step here. But the 4 things that you were talking about earlier, is selfishness, dishonesty, resentment, and fear. And I love that it says when these pop up, not if. For a long, long time, I thought it said if these pop up, like it might happen. No, it was pretty clear. He's like, when these pop up.
Daily almost.
Pretty much. Let's see. So when these crop up, we ask God at once to remove them. So it's asking me, go to God first. We discuss them with someone immediately, and we make amends quickly. If we've harmed anybody, then we resolutely turn our thoughts to someone we can help. Love and tolerance of others is our code. That's the instructions on step 10, and I'd be dead without them. Well, I wouldn't think I'd be dead, but I'd definitely be really lonely.
You'd be one of those nasty people that everybody look at and say, oh, stay away from her. She's really nasty.
Yeah, they already do that, but it's probably because I'm a truck magnet.
An F-150 truck magnet at that. And Ford, yes, they are not a sponsor yet, but anybody that takes a hit with a fucking truck, an F-150, and can come on a podcast next week, Ford should be our
They should be our sponsor.
Right?
We need to work on that one.
Oh my God. So everything, Beth, you said is so true. I mean, And again, that's how we're supposed to work it. But, listen, if we do something harmful or whatever, and it needs an immediate apology, go to it. I always go to God first. God, did I say something wrong here? Did I do something wrong here? And you know what? 9 times out of 10, I know it's going to be wrong. I really don't have to call my sponsor about it, because the asshole creeps up in me every once in a while, and I do the shitty stuff sometimes, but I stop it. Again, this is progress, not perfection. And am I going to do it again? Maybe. I don't know. I could, but as long as I keep moving forward and growing in this step, I always tell my coaching clients that we're going to make mistakes, but the mistakes, let's have them fewer, far between, and shorter, shorter lived, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
Keep them to a shorter lived, and keep them way apart, from each other. Yeah. And that's how I live my life. And exactly what you said, and then I talk to my sponsor about it, right? Then we talk to our sponsor about it, or another person in recovery.
Another drunk. Yep.
Another drunk. What's going on? And you know what? Here's the cool part of that. Once we reach out to that person and do that, we're reaching out, we're helping somebody else, because we're telling them what happened to us, and maybe something happened to them. And we never know how the help can go, especially when we're telling on ourselves or being honest with our sponsor or somebody else. We don't know what kind of day they had or whatever, you know what I mean? So Good point on all that, Beth. Bambi, your thoughts?
Well, I've got a question for Beth after this, but I do my spot check inventory anytime. The way my sponsor taught me to do it was when I have emotions. If I'm having any kind of negative emotion, I need to check myself, because there's something probably going on with me, or that I've probably done something that fits into one of those 4 categories, or one of my character defects are popping up. And so I do the spot check inventory, and I do everything the same way. I pray about it. I ask God, about it. I make an immediate amends if I need to, if I'm able to do that. You couldn't go chase those people down in the parking lot and tell them you were sorry you couldn't lift their bin, but you acknowledged it, as soon as it ate at you for a little bit. So I do that, but I also do an inventory at the end of the night to see if I've missed anything. And I thought that was part of my step 10. So, and in that inventory, it's a little bit longer. And I go through my whole day, and then I go through my positives as well at the end. And the positives at the end kind of make me not feel so bad for the other things that I did. So is that not part of the step 10? Is it step 10 inventory at night?
That's 11-step inventory. I could tell you, it's here somewhere. Let's see. It's on the next page, on page 86, right? So on the bottom of page 85, it says, Step 11 suggests prayer and meditation. And then the first full paragraph on 86 is, when we retire at night, we constructively review our day. And then there's a bunch of questions that we ask ourselves.
Yeah, that's the 11th step at that point.
Yeah, you're at 11.
Yeah. But that's okay. It is what it is.
Yeah. Man, if you're doing it.
Yeah. Oh, I do.
It's more than most people are doing.
Exactly. Who can honestly say, I don't lay in bed and take my inventory and figure out, what can I do better? I just don't. And I have to start practicing that, but that's that's next month. And I'll confess to that next month. But, also guys, let's talk about selfishness, fearful, jealousy, dishonesty. What did you say? I think jealousy was also in there. What did you say? Was the other one?
It's selfishness, dishonesty, resentment, and
resentment.
Fear.
Yeah. Resentment.
Yep. Continue to watch for.
So, but jealousy is almost the same thing as a resentment, because you're jealous of somebody. You resent that they have something. You resent that they're, whatever, they're 5'10" and I'm 4'11", and that's
fear, right?
It's fear.
I mean, it's fear. Jealousy is fear.
Absolutely. So selfishness, I want to go through each one of these, ladies, and I just want to get your thoughts on it. So like what I talked about today about that, about the box not being able to pull it down. I was being somewhat selfish, right? Because I could have took literally, what would it taken me 30 seconds to pull something down? The guy was a little bit older. He was trying to walk around, find somebody. Aww. And let me tell you, in this store that I was in, it was hard to find anybody, So, the selfishness came in there. I don't think there was any fear, but and I don't have a resentment against him, and there was no really dishonesty. So that really was just a, something being selfish. I was trying to get through, my day real quick to get back home. And listen, I can justify the shit out of everything. I had to go home because I had to get ready for the podcast. I had to go back and listen to the car and listen to my blah, blah, blah. No, guys. No, it takes 30, it probably wouldn't even took 30 seconds to make this person's day. Really,
and that's your dishonesty. That's your dishonesty popping up and saying, I don't have time for that. You had time for that.
I like that. Beth. There you go. You're right. Keep
it's been honest. Having you on the show.
Jesus, when can we get rid of her?
I know. She's the worst.
Oh my God.
I wish she would just get hit by a truck.
Oh, been there, done that. No, we like her.
Sorry,
we like
too
her.
late.
Absolutely. So selfishness.
She's already got the microphone, Ed.
I know it's too late. We can't. The $30 we spent, we really can't. Can't afford to lose another $30. But selfishness, ladies. How do you think it plays a role in your spot check inventory when you're thinking of things? And like I said, I'll just go through each one. So selfishness. Any ideas on that?
So I break self into 3 different definitions. So you've got selfish, which is it's all about me.
Mm-hmm.
Selfish is I want what I want and I want it now. Selfish, self-centered is it's all about me. And then self-seeking is if I do this, what am I going to get for it?
Mm.
And I'm real big with the self-seeking.
Mm-hmm.
That yeah.
Oh yeah. Self-seeking.
Yeah.
I want what I want when I want it now. Don't tell me how I can wait for it. Right. It's funny because a podcast that we decided to do it a little bit earlier during the week. And I was like sitting on my couch, like reading a book that I was actually reading the Life Recovery Workbook. And I was like, why don't we just go on at 2:00? This is bullshit. I got to wait another 2 fucking hours. I want to get this done and over with. I have so much shit to do. Right. Being selfish, that is, I wanted to do that right then and there. I didn't take in consideration that we already posted something up, that maybe Beth and Bambi have something to do. It's not all about Jersey Ed, guys. It's just not all about Jersey Ed all the time. And this brain sometimes makes me think it is, right? And then that's where the dishonesty, the fearfulness, like, oh my God, I'm afraid that they may not like me, like, oh my God, that whole it all ties into everything. These 4 kind of feelings or whatever they are, or just words really tie into almost every part of my day when I'm probably not being the best human being I can be. So, Bambi, your thoughts on selfishness?
Well, I'm a control freak. My job demanded it when I was a director of nursing, and I just learned to be in control of things. So now in recovery, I find myself, I still want what I want when I want it, and I want it now. And, and it crops up all the time. Like, I really want to be in Florida right now. I do not want to be in Illinois any longer. And it will bother me that things aren't moving at the speed I want them to move. And I'm constantly having to remind myself, there's a reason you're still there. There's a reason. You don't know what it is yet, but there's a reason you're there. And so that's the biggest thing for me is I want what I want when I want it. And I have to constantly add that to my amends list.
Absolutely. And I'd like to, I'm guessing most of us addicts and alcoholics are that way. We're very impatient. Obviously all 3 of us just raised our hand to, I want what I want when I want it. That's our biggest character defect. Well, not biggest, but that's my biggest character defect, especially in the 10th step inventory. And you can piss me off if you don't give me what I want when I want it. That comes from every part of my life. My running life, my personal life, my job life, my food life, everything, sex life, everything. Right? I have to take a look at that part in every single, that selfishness in every single part of my life. Right? Am I being a good human being today, or am I being selfish? So fearfulness. Whew, good Lord. I don't even want to go there. I'm just so afraid of that word. I don't even want to talk about it. Fearful. What's your ladies? What's your thoughts on fearful in part of this step, and where does it fit into your everyday? Again, the spot inventory.
So fear is definitely my biggest character defect. For me, all of my resentments go down to fear of losing something I have, or fear of not getting something I want. So for me, all of my self-protection is surrounding and protecting the fear, which is a direct result of not having a faith, right? Of not knowing that God has my back. And yeah, dude, I'm the fear prayer is 100% the prayer I say the most out of the book.
Faith over fear, right? That's what we have to have, faith over fear. Yeah. And you can't run on fear your whole life. It's not healthy. It's not good for the soul. It's not good for the mind or the body. It's definitely not good. And I have to agree with you 100%. 100%. That's my biggest character defect. Because the other thing too is it ties in with the selfishness. Like, okay, so you're not giving me what I want. Now I lost all the control. Now I'm afraid. Now maybe you're going to find me out. Now maybe you're going to, figure me out. Now maybe I'm not going to be as good as everybody thinks I am. Right. And that's where all that comes in too. So how about you, Bambi? What about the fear part?
The two go hand in hand with me because again, I am fearful of not having what I want. I am fearful of not getting to where I want to be. I'm afraid that if I don't get what I want when I want it, it's never going to happen. I worry a lot, but I can tell you that, I'll get anxiety over something and I've said this in meetings before, but honest to God, when I honestly pray for it, sometimes that anxiety just goes completely away.
Yes.
It's amazing that it works. I mean, not all the time, but sometimes like completely, this shit works.
Mm-hmm. And it does. Once you give it over and you can just get that fear out. Again, faith over fear. If you have faith in whatever the process is going to be, then the fear isn't there. Maybe we'll be a little bit.
The fear's still there.
It could still be there, yes, but it's not going to be predominant anymore if you have the faith, because whatever happens. And think about this, guys. Even if we don't have any faith, right, and we live in fear, we have no control over the outcome of anything, of zero, nothing at all. Even the next breath we take, we have no control over. I have no control over if this podcast is going to go out. I have no control over what you ladies are going to say, and nothing. I have, what if the power goes out? It's boom. I have no control over any of that, zero control. The only thing I have control over is this very moment, what's happening right now. And I don't need to live in the future worrying about things. And I do. It's my hugest character defect is fear of losing everything, fear of not having enough, fear of being found out, fear of being alone. You name the fear, and I have checked the box next to it, right? But that's no way to live. That is zero way to live. But this inventory, and along with all the other steps, helps us calm that down. And just like you said earlier, Beth, this isn't going to go away. Fear is not going to go away. But if we could put the faith over it first, it's going to subside a little bit. The anxiety goes down, the craziness.
Right. And that's, feeling the fear and doing it anyway is called bravery. That's my definition for bravery is I'm really scared, but I'm going to go and do my best right now and see what happens. That's brave. That's being brave.
Yeah, exactly.
Walking into a
great
crosswalk.
Comment, guys. Roxanne says,
Bambi, you're breaking up, Bambi.
It's Bambi. I thought that was me.
No, it's Bambi.
To do
so she said, I'm afraid to be alone and Bambi, not reach my full potential. Did she come back?
Yeah.
Oh, you're back.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's what she said.
That's okay. Yeah. So I'm afraid to be alone and of not reaching my full potential, even though I know I have what it takes to do so.
Wow.
And then Roxanne shared, please, or just pray on it and don't pick up the first one. And, you could be alone in a group of 4 million people.
Yeah.
We don't get to experience that connection until after 3 and 5, where we start to drop some of that self-protection to connect in. And it's simple, but it's super hard. I'm gonna start crying. I'm always crying.
That's okay. Makes more people watch. No, I'm kidding. It's all about the likes here. Cry away, Beth.
He has a cue for that, Beth. So
that's
when
right.
he gives you the cue, you
I'm gonna learn how to cry on command.
That's right, exactly. No, I
He knows not to give that to me because my mascara will run.
That's
that
right,
can't happen on camera.
Exactly.
So.
All my makeup will come off and my bruises will show. It'll be awesome.
That's right.
But that's another. See, then the pity factor. Then we'll get pity and tears. It all works.
There you go. And that I believe the pity pot is another one of these kind of inventories that we have to look at too. And I want to add that in there at the end. I add that in as a fifth. But again, what Roxanne said again comes back to faith over fear. Just don't pray on it. And how simple is this? Just pray on it and don't pick up the first drink. I mean, that's it. That's what our program tells us, right?
Yeah.
Step 1, 2, and 3, right? Exactly right there. What she said is don't, and then the rest comes. As long as we don't pick up the first drink, we find our higher power, and we move on through it. And that is so right as far as that goes. And being alone, like you said, I can be alone like you said, in 4 million people. I can be at a concert and be alone. I could be in the middle of Yankee Stadium. Yep. I couldn't tell you how many times I was at Yankee Stadium just drinking and doing cocaine and wishing I had more because I ran out of Coke and I'm stuck at Yankee Stadium and the beers are $15, whatever they are now, but I think they were like $8 back then when I was drinking, and I was still alone. I was not worrying about the Yankee game. I was worrying about where the Bud guy was. And, is there going to be enough of cocaine in my pocket to get through the next couple innings? Because I don't know where to go around here to buy dope. You know what I mean? So that was the crazy part of being, kind of all through that. So resentments, I don't really hold the resentment. I hold the resentment against myself, guys, for doing stupid shit. I'll be honest with you. That's the biggest person that I hold resentments against. I could care the less that you've hurt me or whatever, because it's none of my business what others think of me, number one. So that helps me out immensely through life, because I know if somebody's talking shit about me or doing they want to do me wrong, it's usually not because of me. It really isn't. It's probably because of them, and let them work it out on their own. And if they want to talk about it, I just don't have resentment. And if you're doing something wrong to me, it's okay. It's okay on my end, because eventually you're going to have to look in the mirror and say, hey, what did I do wrong today? If you do that, or you're going to have to be miserable for the rest of your life, and just go around being miserable. So resentments, that people hold against me is okay. But when I hold the resentment, which is not like, again, not too many resentments. I just try to let that shit go as quickly as possible. There's a lot of things I can't let go, but a resentment is one that I'll let go. And I learned this not too long ago. My wife and I had a business, and our business partner was not good to us. And I always said, when that motherfucker dies, I'm going to go piss on his grave. Well, not too long ago, this person ended up dying. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, what do I do now? Right. And I just had to give it up.
Don't piss on his grave.
Yeah, right. I know. But that was really the last resentment I held for a long time. I get over them rather quickly. So what's ladies' resentments? What's your thoughts on that? Are you guys hanger honors, or you just let those resentments go?
I've had resentment towards the tax system in this country for a very long time. Person's places or principles is what I was told. And, I have a hard resentment on, Luna. I definitely have a resentment against my dog. Shush. But the tax system, and listen, I'm all for charity. I'm all for, whatever, it doesn't matter what side of the political scale I'm on, but it's like, I don't mind paying the taxes, but it's like the whole system, it's not working and I can't figure it out. And so I get very angry, and I either get insanely angry about it or I just avoid it, just pretend it's not there. So yeah, I don't like our tax system.
Avoidance.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
100%, man. You don't pay your taxes, you get in a lot of trouble. I'm just saying.
Yes, you do. They want that money.
Yes, they do. Come on.
And they'll tax some interest on it too. If you, there's the doggy.
Oh, the baby.
Oh, we all should bring our dogs to work day someday this week. Corey says, I resent myself for wasting 20 years of my life in active addiction. It's very hard to get over that. I always think, what if I didn't, where would I be in life today? It's tough. The would have, could have, should have, guys, right? Right. That is a tough one. Corey, I do resent myself lots of times for that, but here's how I look at that. My growth and who I am today depended on what I did in my past, and whatever that story was, I cannot change it, right? I cannot change it. I only can make it better. I can only move forward from that, right? And I can only learn from it. So I don't resent my past. I make the best of it. And when a situation comes up where I need to, again, use my 10th step or be a good human being, I can always think back to that asshole before March 10th, 1994, when I would do anything, including stealing from my kids to get what I need for my drugs. That's not me today. I do not do that anymore. I don't steal from my kids. I never, since I've been sober, I have not done that. So that's how I look at that. But that's actually good. So, yeah, Joe says he uses the old resentments as strength. Perfect. That's exactly it. So, Bambi, how about you?
Well, I've let go of my old resentments for the most part. I don't tend to have resentments toward the people, places, principles, things of my past, but I make new ones. I find myself, and it goes back to my fears, and my need to control things, and I'll make new ones, and I'm constantly having to reevaluate it because I've let go of the past ones. But damn if they don't.
So you broke up a little bit there, Bambi. We're going to have to send
I just said, damn, it's crazy. They keep cropping up.
Yes, they do. That's why we have to take daily inventory, ladies. That's why we have step 10, so they don't fester into using again. That is the whole purpose to this. That's the whole purpose of our program. We don't pick up a drink, just like Roxanne said earlier. Just don't pray and don't pick up a drink. When we're doing this show, we committed to do step 1 through step 12 each month, right? And everything we talk about from January to December is about not picking up a drink. Think about it. That is what we are trying to stop doing, right? I mean, it gets a little bit more detailed, but if it comes down to the nitty gritty, if we don't pick up that first drink, none of those old tapes come back on. None of those old habits come back in. And if we work this program and do the maintenance steps and clean house and do what we have to do, we're so far removed from that hopefully we don't ever go back to it. And we just don't pick up the first drink. But I've heard people 20, 30 years going back out, and ask them why. Because they stopped going to meetings. They stopped working the steps. They're not calling their sponsor. Right. I don't care to find that out if that's true or not. I go to meetings, I call my sponsor, and I work my steps. I don't care to find that out because I don't want to be that person I was all those years ago. And if you told me to, my 10th, my 10th step, my 11th, whatever it is to stay sober, I'm going to do it. I don't want to be that person anymore. I'm sick. I'm sick to my stomach about not helping pulling down a bin for somebody. Can you imagine if I was like ripping and running out there and stealing from anybody and doing anything that I needed to do to get what I needed to get? Fuck, man. Seriously. Fuck. Thank God. So we got one more, dishonesty. Oof.
Fuck.
You go first, Beth. Super Beth, you go first because that could be another show.
It really could, because this actually for me goes back to step 2. It's like, what old ideas am I living by and making life decisions about that I'm lying to myself, or I don't believe these fundamental ideas that I'm telling myself anymore. So like when I'm in step 2, I'm challenging old ideas. I'm challenging the way I think about everything. And ultimately, when a 10-step pops up for me, and I have a group of like 13 different women that I can call to do a 10-step with, ultimately there is some old idea that I am lying to myself about, or I'm trying to consistently prove that this is the way things really are. So I like tunnel vision everything out, and I will only hear what will get me what I want. I'm like not in the real world. Like I am completely delusional about certain things, and it's really sad. I'm a long time sober and I still get this way. Like I still have these fears pop up, and it's a delusional lie that I've been telling myself for 48 freaking years. And when am I going to let go of it and become a part of the present moment?
So how do you process that when you identify that? Obviously you're not living a dishonest life, but it does pop up, right? How do you process that and move through it?
We ask what other people do. We ask people that we respect. We pray and we reach out to God and say, do I really believe this?
Yeah.
With all of this other evidence around, do I really believe this? I mean, George Carlin used to talk about the fact that we are forgetting how to think critically. That we as a culture, we don't think critically. So one of the things that I've worked really hard on is critical thinking and asking myself and other people around me the hard questions, and never doing my best to never turn a blind eye. And I'm at the point now where, people usually don't ask me questions they don't want answered, because I'm just, you know what I mean? But we are all living by old ideas. We are all in a delusional lie about something in our lives, which is why we need these steps to continue to grow. Like, what am I lying to myself about today? What am I agnostic about today?
Daily inventory gets us out of that, right? Joe says, I relate. My stinking thinking creeps in daily. He says daily, it creeps in daily, right? It does. And you'd be a fool not to think that you can't not do this step hourly, maybe even not just daily, hourly, to keep check, so we don't become dishonest. Because I could become dishonest in a heartbeat, guys. Seriously, my sponsor always says, Eddie, you can't control the first thought that comes into your head, but you can control the thoughts afterwards, right? So that dishonest thought comes in, whatever it is, wanting to use, wanting to cheat, wanting to steal, wanting to lie, whatever it is, whatever that dishonest thought is, I have the power to control afterwards. Because of my program, because of my 10-step, because of what I've done in my past. Get Beth.
It's crazy though, Ed. You got to admit, those are really blatant lies. Those are just the blatant ones.
Oh yeah.
What about the ones that we don't even realize? Like, I can totally handle doing an extra 20 hours a week because I am not going to burn out, I'm not going to get kidney stones, and I'm not going to die of a heart attack. That would never happen to me. Up until Friday, I didn't think I would ever get hit by a truck. I'm just, do you know what I mean? Like, I will never, that will never happen to me.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? So it's the sly ones. It's the overcommitting, right? Lying to ourselves that we have to please other people.
Yeah.
Lying to ourselves that, that we're a bad parent just so that we can play the martyr.
Yes. Oh, again, that's going to be our third one, the pity pot. We'll get to that in a minute. But you're right, Beth, about that, the ones that creep up. But here's the problem with me with the ones that creep up. I'll show you that I can do this, right? I'll show you, like, seriously. I'm gonna be full disclosure here and TMI, right? So today I had to go take a urine test for the doctor, right? And she puts it on a thing and she puts the line up and she goes, try to fill it up to here or further, right? I'm like, fuck, man, I'm gonna blow this test out of the water, right? So I'm sitting there pissing in the cup, right? And I look, I'm like, oh shit, I only got to the line. Fuck that, right? I'm pissing. I fill it up like triple past the line. I like gave her, and I'm put the piss down and I'm waiting for that. Good job, Ed, right? She goes, okay, take a seat over. I'm like, what? I'm like, did you know just what happened in that bathroom? Do you know what I just did for you? And I blew that test out of the water, right? I mean, how crazy is that? That is totally fucking crazy. But again, I don't have to go to those extremes today. I do sometimes. Right. I am very competitive, but you're right. Those little dishonest, and I'm not saying that's being dishonest, but it's just not, I don't have to go there today. I just don't have to with those little things like you were saying. So.
Well, Ed, as a nurse who has handled more than her share of urine samples, we really don't give a shit. Honestly,
I know.
Doesn't matter if you get up to the line. It doesn't matter if you're perfectly at the line. We don't notice.
I know. It's all me. Awesome. I was in that bathroom doing a dance and a cheer, and I, turned the lights on, and I'm like, "Do you want the door open? Or do you want the door shut?" She's like, shut the door. I'm like, all right. I thought it was this big competition that I was walking into. It meant absolutely nothing. But in my head, in my thinking, like Joe said, and again, I mean, there was nothing wrong with it, but what else can I take that into? How can I take something else to another level? Like, I don't know, grocery stores, perfect example of grocery stores, those self-checkout lines, right? You can not put a couple things in a scanner because some of those things don't waste things sometimes. And you can not put, very easy to be dishonest in this world today.
It's a struggle. Every single time I'm in the self-checkout line, I'm like, I know how to do this. This is not difficult. And I'm like, I can be an asshole like at any moment. Yeah. It's just right under the surface, just waiting to pop out.
Yeah. But again, Beth, that's a first thought we can't control, but the second thought we can. And that's where your program comes in, that second thought. Yep. We're all like that. We're all built like that. But who has a program to where they're working their steps and they're doing what they need to do? Like you are, again, we all have that underlying kind of that surface stuff going on. Dishonesty for you, Bambi.
Well, I think Beth hit it on the head as far as like dishonesty with myself usually is the big one. I can catch myself if I'm about to be dishonest with someone else and I can stop myself before that comes out. But, am I being dishonest with myself? And do I still have those tendencies to, exactly what she said, hit it on the head for me.
Yeah, exactly. And again, we can go on and on and on about being dishonest and all the things that we can come up with and think of. But again, that first thought we can't control, but the thoughts after, our program teaches us, let's be honest. Let's be an okay human being today. Maybe tomorrow we can think about that, but let's be okay right now, right here. It'll make a difference today, So the last thing before we close, I want to talk about the pity pot. And I know that's not on there. I know that's not probably a Bill Wilson word or whatever, but my pity pot, guys, let me tell you, I have all these years in recovery. I have the biggest throne when it comes to a pity pot. It's gold, rubies, you name it. I had it custom built and I still have people polishing it up. I have people working on it daily. I have people, kind of guarding it for me. So when King Edward sits down on his pity pot, everybody fucking knows, right? And that's bullshit. That's bullshit because that hurts a lot of people. That manipulates a lot of people. My pity pot is the worst place to be. And I don't mean to make it sound all glamorous and everything, but that's in my crazy head, right? That pity pot, that's how it looks. But really, I'm sitting on an old outhouse, broken down with shit all over it and thinking that it's this gorgeous throne because everybody's looking at me saying, what are you doing? Why are you acting that way? What are you being an asshole for? Not me. I don't see it that way. My way or the highway. That's what King Edward says. My way or the highway, right? No. It's not, it doesn't look like that. My thinking is skewed. My vision of that pity pot or my idea is very skewed. And that's why I need to go to my sponsor. That's why I need to take that first thought. Do I sit on the pity pot or do I not sit on it and do what I need to do as a good human being? Guys, this program teaches me how to be a good human being. That is it. That's what this program teaches me about. And again, it tells me not to pick up a drink, and I will be a good human being. And then I can go on to do my steps and be a better human being. And then I can go on to helping other people and then even be a better human being. That's what this program teaches me. That's why I show up every day. That's why I do this podcast, because I want to be a good human being. Because guys, I wasn't 28 years ago. I was not a good human being on an hourly, minute, second basis. And it's better to be where I'm at today with these shitty thoughts once in a while than where I was all those years ago with thoughts constantly. So that's my pity pot stuff, guys. What about Beth? What about you with your pity pot?
Dude, I am always like flabbergasted when like one of my girlfriends points out, like, sounds like you're kind of feeling sorry for yourself. And I'm like, oh, me? I'm sorry for myself. So yeah, dude, I hate it, but I do it. And I'm never aware that I'm doing it until somebody else points it out. Yes. Ever. Like no, I don't like it. It's embarrassing.
I need some of those people to point it out, because nobody points it out to me, and it takes me a long time to realize it.
Yeah.
So give me a call. I'll always point it out.
All right. I'm gonna call Beth from now on when I'm pretty sure I'm doing that, but I need confirmation.
You need that stamp of approval from Beth. But you know what, guys? Here's the other thing. When we're in it, it feels okay. It feels comfortable. It feels normal, because that's what we used to do. And that's where we get sometimes we get attention from it. Sometimes we get away from it, because people just want you to go to fuck away and they'll give you whatever you want. But that's not what we're taught in this program today. And especially with our 10 step, we definitely are not taught to do that today. Right. So the minute even I try to climb up on that throne, because I have this big, long driveway going up to my throne, you know, with big, huge lights alongside of it and, you know, in gold. And then I have to say, okay, it's time not to go up this trail. It's time not to drive up this driveway. It's time to fall off the back of the hill and become, you know, just a regular kind of Joe again, you know? So, so that's kind of the gist of the 10th step. Any closing words, ladies, on a 10th step? Anything that you want to kind of relate to the audience before we close here?
I want to read the 10 step promises.
Yes, go ahead. All right.
Last paragraph on page 84. And we have ceased fighting anything or anyone, even alcohol, for by this time, sanity will have returned. We will seldom be interested in liquor. If tempted, we recoil from it as from a hot flame. We react sanely and normally, and we will find that this has happened automatically. We will see that our new attitude toward liquor has been given us without any thought or effort on our part. It just comes. That's the miracle of it. We are not fighting it, neither are we avoiding temptation. Mm-hmm. We feel as though we had been placed in a position of neutrality, safe and protected. We have not sworn off. Instead, the problem has been removed. It does not exist for us. We are neither cocky nor are we afraid. This is our experience. This is how we react so long as we keep in fit spiritual condition.
In fit spiritual condition. That's what keeps
right. I love promises.
I know.
I think that's a perfect way to end, Ed.
It is a perfect way to end. Beth, thank you for that. And I'm not a huge big book guy, so I knew that was in there, but I didn't that wrapped this whole show up, guys, perfectly. Ladies, another great show. Next week, if all goes well, we will have our favorite on, Jeff Zeisel. And Beth does not know Jeff, so she is going to get to know Jeff. So we're going to do a clinical look at step 10 next week with Jeff. So Jeff is an amazing guy. Carl loves Jeff. I think they're having a man. What do they call it? A bromance. Yes. So, but anyways, ladies, so thank you so much for a great show. And we'll keep continuing this and keep being good human beings and stay sober, everybody.
This concludes this episode of Friends in Recovery, the Addiction Recovery Podcast. Follow us on Facebook for past shows and updates, and enjoy free access to twice daily support meetings. Friends in Recovery, the Addiction Recovery Podcast, is available on Facebook, Podbean, iTunes, and YouTube 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.